John, how does it feel and what does it mean to have been part of an adventure that has been so important for many millions of fans?
Well, I'm very grateful to have been part of the Supertramp experience for nearly 50 years now. It's 48 years this year. And we worked really hard at it. So it's not all just good luck. There's a good element of luck, but we worked very, very hard to progress musically, in concerts, in recording and everything throughout the 70s and 80s. And I think we did a good body of work. And it's really, what feels really nice to me is to be able to play to people and for them to enjoy it so much, and just to give them that our art, to make them feel better about their lives, hopefully. So that's what being a musician's good for, you know.
Your sax is predominant in many songs, especially in Roger's songs and a little less in Rick's. You had two compositional styles. Which one did you feel more comfortable with?
I feel equally comfortable playing on either person's songs. If I was to single it out, I would think that Roger's ballads are very, very tuneful, and they get right to your heart. And Rick is, although he does do some ballads, I think Rick is a more up-tempo, gritty side. Rogers is more airy, and Rick's is more gritty. But it's just as good to play on either.
Your contribution to the Supertramp songs has been always extremely clear to us listeners. You have been the link between two different music visions that, thanks to your sax, coexisted and became part of a single vision.
Good.
That right?
You are correct, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want a little story?
Yeah.
Right. You see this? You see?
Yeah.
Right, there it is. I put it out there. 1977, we were touring, and I was in Virginia. We did a concert, and I went outside at the end. I went outside the back of the concert, and there was a few people there. I went to get some fresh air, and there was a man there, and he came up to me and he said, Can I speak with Roger or Rick, please? And I said, well, I don't know whether they come in or not, but you can speak to me if you want. But he said, I'd love to talk to you. And so we chatted a little while. And then this man went like this. He said, I'd like you to have this. And he took this off his neck, and he gave it to me. He said, "I made this." His name was
19?
John. His name was John C. House III. He'd actually manufactured it and made it. It's lapis lazuli, and he said, "I'd like you to have it because," he said, "I think that you are the link between Roger Hodgson and Rick Davies, and I think that you are the person that brings them together and gets them across to the audience."
And this is the symbol of that.
I put it on that night, and I've never taken it off, except a year later or 2 years later. I had it. I was wearing it, and then the chain broke at home, so I put it down. I went out on my motorcycle and had a crash.
Ooh.
My motorcycle. So I came back home that day, and I got a piece of string, and I put it back on, and then got a chain, and then that's why it's my lucky charm.
But he knows this
because of the internet. About 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I managed to get in touch with him because in 1978 or so, I wrote to him a letter, and I sent it to him, and it was returned. Not known. So I didn't know of him for 30 odd years, and then I managed to get in touch with him by getting in touch with a newspaper, and then they managed to find him, and so I found him now.
Oh, this is a beautiful story. Thank you.
Yeah.
How were Supertramp songs presented to the band?
Rick and Roger would just say, "Well, we've got this." We always had songs that we didn't use, and they were always maybe coming up for another album, or because like Breakfast in America was written by Roger many years before 1979. They were always there. And then they'd come along with an idea, and then we'd listen and say, "Yeah, that'd be great, but we should have maybe the bass and drums should come in really heavy here," or we'd have ideas, and then they'd go away again and keep coming back to us, and we'd work out an arrangement. We would just take the song, and then we would contribute to the arrangement of it. It was still always the same song.
Okay.
And sometimes they would have more idea of what the finished product would be like than others. It would just depend on the song.
Okay. Why do you think that Supertramp were extremely famous, especially in Canada?
We were very popular there. They just took us to their heart, like the French did, and the Italians and the Spanish.
Yeah.
They took us to their hearts, which is very nice.
Pour mon petit déjeuner aujourd'hui, cet après-midi, of course, j'avais une petite mousseline d'avocat et langoustine. Très bon. Et j'avais 2 types of spaghetti and une type of ravioli. Petit morceau de crème caramel. Beaucoup de vin. Et 2 grands espresso. J'étais très sorry that it was an Italian restaurant. You can't have everything. But wasn't as good as Breakfast in America.
In Paris, before Breakfast in America, you told the audience what the band ate. And you also mentioned an Italian restaurant.
Yes.
Is it true, or it is just an ironic way to provoke the French by using the historical rivalry between France and Italy.
First of all, it is true.
Okay.
Secondly, it was, you could just describe it as being a brunch
Okay.
because it was a late breakfast.
Yeah.
Thirdly, interestingly, I had that breakfast that I spoke about on the Paris LP, on the Paris video, and it was with a French MotoGP motorcycle rider called Patrick Pons, and I had brunch with him that day, which I spoke about.
Yeah.
And the next, I went to see him 6 months later at Silverstone Racecourse, where he was killed. He had an accident, so he was no more after that. But that was with Patrick Pons, and it's a proper Italian. Well, it was a lunch, an early lunch.
Okay. Brunch. Okay.
You lost the reservation. Now you can't get back. You're getting a shakedown. Unlucky for you. The 10th Avenue breakdown. It's getting rough. Just you two. I'm all amused.
From Brother Where You Bound onwards, your sax has been even more present. With the absence of Roger Hodgson, do you think your sax has become more important for Rick Davies' musical ideas and for the group balance?
Because Roger left, we didn't have his singing or his songs or his guitar playing or his distinctive piano playing. So I guess to some extent I filled in some of the instrumental parts. So yes, I was more predominant after Roger left, and my music seems to suit Rick's music because he was brought up through jazz, and so was I.
Exactly.
So we have that sensibility. Yeah. So I think that I fit in a bit more with Rick in that way. So yes, probably a little more important, but yeah.
John, I want to ask you this. There are two songs. One is Just a Normal Day, and the other one is School, that are written by Rick Davies and Roger Hodgson. And they are the only two songs written by Rick and Roger. Do you know in School which part is written by Rick and which part is written by Roger?
I don't know because they wrote it before I joined. It was already there.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Like from now on, there were numbers which were written basically, if not fully formed, they were written before I joined. Like A Crime of the Century was. Yes. So I don't know to whom you would apportion part of the song. It's just the two of them together.
Because it's the only song that Roger says, yes, I wrote it with Rick Davies, but
yes,
we don't know which part because
no, and neither do I.